This is my discussion slash review for 911 Lone Star Season 4, Episode 15, titled Donors. And I did not expect that title to match this episode so perfectly. Let's talk about it.
Live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings, I'm a big fight.
This episode, oh my gosh, man, this episode was so freaking good, man. I did not expect it to hit this hard. Every aspect of this episode was great in my opinion, and I didn't expect it to be as dark as it was. I mean, because with the title being donors, okay, well, I expected, organ harvesting or, being donors in general, but they took it the organ harvesting route. But it was dark, man. Like it got dark. Like they taking organs from people involuntarily. You know what I'm saying? But what I did love about this episode is we got to see Detective Washington again, which I loved her. And she's kind of trying to convince Carlos to take the detective's exam, which I don't see him taking anytime soon, but maybe sometime next season, midway through or something, I could see him possibly taking it and becoming a detective, because I think Carlos will make a great detective. Let's be 100%. He'd make a great detective, but he likes being a patrolman right now. And we got introduced to another detective this episode, which is Detective McGregor. And for you guys that don't know, that's Adam Baldwin from Firefly with Gina Torres and Nathan Fillion. Oh my gosh, that was a wonderful Easter egg if you're a Firefly fan. Great series. You should definitely check it out if you're interested in sci-fi, because I think Firefly is a great series. I loved it. But I think that was a nice Easter egg and callback for both of those characters, man. It was cool. I really enjoyed them being on screen as different characters, but I enjoyed them back together again. This entire episode kind of revolved around what the title suggested: donors in an organ harvesting ring. The case started because there was an accident and it was a smart car and a fire burst out in the car and they had to rescue a guy that was a passenger in the back seat. Now, they rescue the guy, they get him in the ambulance, and they find out that he has a big laceration on his gut, but it's been patched up and stitched up, but he's still a little wonky, and that's because he had surgery recently. Now, Tommy's taking the route thinking that he had been to a hospital, but he got out the hospital. But when he hit TK, yeah, that kind of changed everything. Tommy didn't think he was a regular hospital patient anymore. It was black market organ harvesting. But I will say this: TK need to learn how to fight. TK need to take some self-defense classes, get Carlos to teach him something, because TK, you get injured and hurt more than anybody else on this show. I'm starting to think we need to put you in a little bubble and you just go on about your life, because he messed TK up, man. But we know why he done that, because he stole an organ. Now, he didn't know the organ was stolen. He thought he paid actual money for it and got it, but still, buying organs off the black market is illegal, so that's why he fled the scene. But what I loved is because we get to see Grace in a different light this episode. Now, we know Grace is constantly helping people, from the 911 call center, and she gets involved from time to time, but that's a common thing with 911, even in Lone Star. But this is one of those times that Grace kind of just really had to get involved because it was such an emotional and impactful moment. And like I said, even the episode was so dark, man. Like, it was so, like, sure, we had the bomb stuff going on and everything, but like we haven't really dealt with anything like this dark, man. Buying organs off the black market, that is dark. And they handled it so well, man. It was so well written, the characters, exposition, and everything, man. So we see Grace take this call, and she's there with the girl after the girl woke up, and she called 911, and the girl, she's about to pass out and everything. The ambulance gets there in the nick of time, of course, and they revive her. Grace is just, it got to her, man. Let's be 100%. Because then the girl started calling her mom and everything, and then it probably kind of clicked to her. It was like, well, she has a daughter now, so this kind of made her feel a certain type of way. And we see Grace went to deliver flowers for her, and the chick was worried because the police assumed that she sold her organs. And as we find out, as the story progresses, the detective assumed that, well, we're going to try to hold her for da-da-da. I get it. His workload is he's overclocked with his workload, and he's got a lot of other stuff going on. But like Grace said, he's also kind of nonchalantly kind of pushing this off to the side because it is a woman of color. Now, I feel like they flipped that whole kind of thing on its head this episode. But we see that he's trying to charge her possibly because, selling your organs is profitable, but it's also illegal at the same time. But like Grace mentioned, they left $1,500 on the nightstand for this chick after they call 911. She sold a kidney for $1,500. Ain't nobody doing that. Like they mentioned this episode, it's like 60. I'm assuming 60 and up or 60 and down. Take your pick. But if that's the highest, or if 60 is the highest and it's anywhere from 60 below, ain't nobody taking $1,500. 60 is the maximum. So anywhere from 30 on up to 60. You know what I'm saying? Anything below that, nobody's taking, right? I'm not getting cut open and having my organ taken and given to somebody else for $20,000, $25,000. No, 30 and up. But I ain't selling them my kidneys anyway. But Grace was there with this chick, man. She was her ride or die, man. She was really there for this chick. And she even put herself in harm's way. Now, when she done that, I really wasn't feeling it, especially towards the ending of the episode when the dude actually contacted her, because throughout the course of the episode, the detective wasn't feeling the case anymore. So that's when Detective Washington stepped in, and her and Carlos both pretty much figured out everything. They got to the doctors, which happened to be dentists, and using their office to do the actual surgeries and then dumping these bodies in hotels, well, sleazy motels. And we see that Grace put herself in danger, and I get it. She really wanted to help this chick because there was nobody there for her. And then it really kind of sunk in once the detective told her that the chick died. I feel like that really kind of escalated things. And right there at the ending of the episode, when Carlos and them were ready to take down the dentist's office, the dude contacted her, and that made her go out to actually confront him. Now, she called Detective McGregor to, give him the facts. And I will say this, big ups to him for showing up. That was huge, even if he didn't really believe the whole case, but big ups for him showing up for Grace right there in that moment. But I still didn't like the fact that she went herself, and like Judd mentioned, her using her real picture. But I understand it. It was fear for her daughter and for that girl. It was a whole ordeal for Grace, man. So she had to kind of see this through fully to really kind of get in kind of peace with it. And I love the moment where Grace is out with this dude and they're having the drinks and everything. I don't know if anybody else caught it, but I saw the moment when she grabbed the drinks. Like, I saw the exact moment. The dude act like he just spilled so much drink on his hand, and Grace went to grab the napkins and he put something in the drink. And when he done that, Grace knew that he roofied people from the drink. We had all this in the reports. So Grace immediately took the drink that was closer to him when she turned back around, and he grabbed the one with the roofie. I saw it the exact moment, but when they were having their whole interaction, I was like, man, when is this roofie gonna kick in? I'm like, I'm ready for dude to get a little tipsy a little bit. But it kicked in at a very pivotal moment when he was starting to attack Grace in the bathroom, and then the boom, bam, the detective showed up. So nothing happened, but Grace was ready to go because she had her keys. She was ready to go. Hey, Grace from Texas. But I really loved it, man. I just hated that she kind of put herself in harm's way. But, hey, that's the family of the 126. Everybody is willing to sacrifice themselves to help someone for the greater good, and that extends to their actual family as well. It's not just the fire family, man. It's like their actual family as well, and Grace done the same thing. And it was a nice wrap up, man. I really think that was the best possible way to end it and to get justice for that girl, man. So big ups on that. Owen's brother Robert came to visit Owen and TK, and they have this whole wonderful familial bond thing. But I knew something was up when he looked at the picture of his daughter and he couldn't quite say her name or whatever. I didn't know it was Huntington's, but I thought it was just him. Maybe something happened with his family or something. Maybe something happened with him and his wife or something. I didn't really know. I didn't assume he was sick until right there at the ending where he kind of dropped the glass with the wine, and then he tells Owen that, he has Huntington's and it's hereditary. Now, I don't know how they'll let that play out when it comes to Owen, but that could be something that we worry further on down the line, man. But we got to deal with his brother being sick right now, but they just want to spend time with each other. And like I said, the episode was dark, man, because it was even dark with the organ stuff, and even for them telling us that, his brother had Huntington's. So, it is what it is, but such a great episode, man. Dude, I was engrossed the entire time watching it, man. I was like, that's it. Like, I didn't care about nothing that was going on with me, man. I cannot wait for episode 16. This is your boy, Incredible. Don't forget to smash the like button so you can't smash any more. Comment down below, and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them, and subscribe. Peace out.
I cannot complain. doing my thing.